Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. I know a thing or two about being snubbed. Perna. After the Pro Bowl rosters were announced, I couldn't help but notice that some players who bawled their brains out were not selected to the Pro Bowl. So today I want to talk about the biggest snubs and award them something much, much more precious than a Pro Bowl. Yeah, a Big Dick Player Award, which will be many of these players' first ever Big Dick Player Awards. Somebody who will never get it is Stephen A. Smith, who has selected Hunter Henry as his biggest snub of 2018.
And I'm thinking about Hunter Henry.
And since I'm creating a new list of players who are most snubbed, that means other players are going to get double snubbed that don't make this list. And those players have something to be very pissed off about. That's Good Sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's really easy. It's free. If you subscribe, it doesn't change your life at all. But I am excited to announce that I've made a new commercial for my official sponsor, Manscaped.com. I'm manscaping expert and legend Brandon Perna, and I've been growing body gardens for about 20 years now. And what I've learned is if you want the tree to look bigger, you need to keep the bushes trimmed. To do that, having the right tools is a necessity. And that's why I ditched these dangerous shears long ago and ordered my products from Manscaped.com with the promo code SPORT20. That's a weird sound to make in a forest. Manscaping should be easy and convenient. And with the lawnmower, which is waterproof for easy cleaning, you can keep things smooth, avoiding turning your tree into a prickly cactus. These trimmers are designed to help you achieve the intricacy of trimming a delicate bonsai tree, while also having the power to mow down the bush next to the great redwoods. Convincing people your garden is worth taking a stroll through can be a lot of work, and that's why it's important you make sure they're happy when they finally open the gate to your yard. And even if you don't need your tree to look bigger, whoever you are, keeping a well-kept yard is the manly thing to do. It's also probably mandated by your HOA. So use my promo code SPORT20 and you will get $20 off your first order at manscaped.com. I'm a man. Okay, next to Hunter Henry, the biggest Pro Bowl snub has to be Kareem Hunt. End of episode. See you later! Okay, I'll do a real fucking episode. Look, there are 2 weeks of regular season football left, which makes my first question, why has Pro Bowl voting already stopped? These last 2 weeks are really important for a lot of teams fighting for playoff position, and any number of players could help or hurt their cases with great Darius Leonard performances or terrible Tom Brady performances. Now, I do applaud the Buffalo Bills, Oakland Raiders, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers for all getting 0 players selected to the Pro Bowl. Great job, guys. But instead of writing an original joke here, I will simply read a fact, which happens to also be the best joke of the year. The New York Jets at 4-11, a worse record than the Bills, with 0 Pro Bowlers, have 3. The Jets have 3 Pro Bowl selections. More than the Patriots with just 2. The LA Chargers actually have the most Pro Bowlers with 7, and then the Chiefs and Steelers are tied with second most at 6. Which is a great segue for my first snub. It's Chiefs defensive lineman Chris Jones coming in at number 5. Jones currently has 14 sacks. That's 5th best in the NFL and has earned a sack in 10 straight games, tying the record with DeMarcus Ware and Simon Fletcher. He can break that record this weekend. And Jones is sandwiched right between Von Miller and Khalil Mack. That is a good sandwich. On sack totals, and both Miller and Mack are in the Pro Bowl. He also had 17 tackles for a loss, which is tied 5th best with guys like Cameron Jordan and Calais Campbell. Throw in 26 QB hits, 7th best, and 1 interception, which should always be noted when you weigh more than 300 pounds. Any 300-pound man with an interception should automatically be selected to the Pro Bowl. And at 311 pounds, Chris Jones is technically the biggest snub of 2018. Now I know what you're thinking, the Chiefs' defense sucks, which is mostly true, but they are getting better. And a huge reason for that is Chris Jones. The Kansas City pass rush right now is no joke, and could actually be the thing that carries them through the playoffs. Which, this isn't a snub, but how the hell does Chiefs left tackle Eric Fisher make the Pro Bowl? He's had an average season, which is a huge jump from his normal terrible season. Right tackle Mitchell Schwartz is the real big dick player on that offensive line, and he's not in the Pro Bowl. So Mitchell Schwartz gets my Unhung Hero Award, along with 49ers defensive lineman DeForest Buckner. Also a great season, just on a shitty team. Number 4, biggest snub is Mike Evans. That's right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans is receiving a Big Dick Player Award. Now, Evans has the second most receiving yards in the NFL with 1,328, and he did that with 2 different quarterbacks being shuffled through that offense like a deck of cards. Evan is a first alternate, which means he probably will end up at the Pro Bowl, especially since it's in Orlando, just 77 miles away from Tampa. Evans can drive there, or even Uber there on his salary. Besides the Buccaneers sucking, the reason Evans was probably snubbed is because he only had 5 receiving touchdowns to go with all of those yards. Here's what makes his 1,300 yards even more impressive. He achieved that number with just 74 receptions, which means he averages more yards per catch at 17.9 than Tyreek Hill. Julio Jones is the only receiver in the league with more yards than Evans, but Julio has 26 more receptions. Evans does have 6 drops, pretty high to be considered a Pro Bowler, but also has seen the second most interceptions occur at 7 when the ball's thrown his way. I think if Mike Evans played with the top 10 quarterback, he'd be in the conversation for best receiver in the NFL every single year. Receiving the Unhung Hero Award in this category is Steelers wide receiver JuJu Smith-Schuster. Unfortunately, JuJu is a victim of Antonio Brown's 13 touchdown receptions. Schuster has more yards and catches than Antonio Brown, but only 6 touchdowns. Plus, he does the dirty work, like blocking, which never helps receivers get into the Pro Bowl. All that does is help their team win, which nobody gives a shit about in a world dominated by fantasy stats. The number 3 biggest snub, Colts rookie linebacker Darius Leonard. Darius Leonard, 99 solo tackles, leads the NFL. I've got 99 solo cups, but not a single friend, is what I used to call a weekend in college. Right, guys? Leonard leads the league in combined tackles at 146. I already made a video suggesting Darius Leonard should win Defensive Rookie of the Year. That might be his consolation prize at this point. The Colts in 2017, last season, gave up the 3rd most points per game at 25.2. This year, they are tied for 10th best with my Denver Broncos at 21.4 points per game. They're also 10th best in yards allowed per game and are tied for 5th best with 21 fumbles. Darius Leonard has 4 of those forced fumbles himself and 7 sacks this season. He is a huge, if not the biggest reason for the Colts' defensive turnaround. In 2017, Indy had an all-around top 5 shitty defense, and now they are arguably a top 5 10 unit in the league. And like Chris Jones of the Chiefs, Leonard might have made the biggest impact to his team's defense this season, especially if we're talking about guys not named to the Pro Bowl. And that's why, Darius, you get a Big Dick Player Award. The number 2 biggest snub is Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. That's right, they both get Big Dick Player Awards. Better than the Pro Bowl, really. It demands nothing in return, the Big Dick Player Award. The Pro Bowl has become an honor every player wants, but also one none of them want to participate in. It's like oral sex. Everyone looks forward to receiving it, but nobody is actually excited to return the favor. Now, I think I'm a little bit more surprised by Christian McCaffrey getting snubbed, because I think he is the Panthers' offense. Without him this season, they have nothing. Kamara has to compete with Michael Thomas and Mark Ingram on his own team, which is why his numbers might be even more impressive than McCaffrey's. Yes, Kamara's numbers impress me more than Christian because he has more competition for stats on his own team, but McCaffrey, being the star offensive player on his team, impresses me more. So the only fair thing to do is reward neither of them. and contradict what I say. McCaffrey has more receiving yards at 777 than any other back in the league. And if you think 777s are lucky, ask McCaffrey how lucky getting snubbed is, or losing 6 games in a row. 7, however the fuck many it is. Now, Kamara has the 5th most receiving yards for a halfback with 627, and he also has 16 total touchdowns. McCaffrey has 13. McCaffrey has an impressive 572 yards after contact, but Alvin Kamara, 0 fumbles this season. I could go on and on about their impressive numbers and stats, but it's hard to argue that they are playing better football than Todd Gurley or Saquon Barkley. Gurley has 21 total touchdowns this season. That's insane. And Gurley, Zeke, and Saquon all have produced over 1,800 yards of total offenses for their teams. I don't think Kamara or McCaffrey are having better seasons than Gurley or Barkley, but you could maybe argue their case to be ahead of the Zeke walk. The problem is the NFC simply has 5 really good running backs. But when you get stuffed on 4th and 1 like this, no way you should be in the Pro Bowl. The number 1 biggest snub of the 2018 NFL season is Colts quarterback Andrew Luck. So Andrew Luck gets a Big Dick Player Award. And the Unhung Hero Quarterback Award goes to Russell Wilson, who, like Luck, has his team in the wild card race and lost out to 2 guys not playing as well as him in Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff. Andrew Luck was duped out of the honor because, by default, Tom Brady got the award. Honestly, though, I don't think Aaron Rodgers deserves the selection this season either. Both guys get credit for the Pro Bowl based on their past work, like M. Night Shyamalan getting to direct all those movies after The Sixth Sense. Andrew Luck has tossed the 2nd most touchdown passes at 34 this season. Patrick Mahomes, of course, is first with 45, and Russell Wilson is 3rd on that list with 31. Brady and Rodgers only have 24 and 23 touchdown passes. Andrew Luck will win Comeback Player of the Year, but for a guy who wasn't even sure if he could ever throw a football again, he's lighting it up. Remember, he had 8 straight games this season where he threw for at least 3 touchdowns. And he turned tight end Eric Ebron, considered a unanimous bust, into a Pro Bowler. Ebron has 12 touchdown receptions this year. His previous high was 5. Turning Ebron into a Pro Bowler alone should have gotten Andrew Luck into the Pro Bowl, maybe even the Hall of Fame. Luck averages the exact same amount of passing yards per game as Phillip Rivers at 282, which is 1 and 2 fewer yards than Rodgers and Brady this year, and owns a slightly higher completion percentage than Mahomes. Most importantly, after Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck is the most likable QB in that group. Another quick notable Unhung Hero Award goes out to Broncos fullback Andy Janovich, leading the way for Phillip Lindsay to become the first offensive undrafted rookie to go to a Pro Bowl. So congratulations, Phil. Now, the Pro Bowl voting process is as fucked up as America's. And after today's results, we will forget about everything I just said until this exact time next year when more players get shafted. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, if you want to follow me there, at Brandon Perna. And our weekly podcast comes out tomorrow, Thursday morning, on my second channel, That's Good Podcast. If you want to go, subscribe there.